yourself. You thirsty, partner?
Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire. Welcome back to another video here today on the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. But today we're going to be ranking every single perk in Treyarch Zombies history. I have a World at War through BO3 tier list. I also have a BO4 one and a Cold War one. So we're going to go through all three of those. I'm going to have the links down below in the description so you guys can rank them yourself and then tweet them at me at GregFPS over on Twitter. Also, I want to let you guys know that I have a broken two fingers, my pinky and my ring finger here on my right hand. So it's going to look like I don't know how to use the mouse because I'm using my left hand. And also, I had a death in the family, so I haven't really been putting out a lot of videos. I'm sorry. Also, videos take like 2 to 3 times as long to edit myself with this messed up hand. Getting the cast off a week from this Friday, so I got like a week and a half left or so, 10 days, which isn't that bad. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we're going to start off, I put these in order as well. We're going to start off with Jug. I'm just going to put Jug in best of the best. Everyone buys it every game unless you're doing a no Jug challenge, which most people don't do. Next up, we're going to go with Speed Cola. I'm going to put Speed Cola in amazing. Speed Cola is a great perk, but I don't think it's 100% necessary. You don't need it really if you're good enough at training, but I would say like it's a useful perk and I usually end up buying it. So it is good. Next up is Double Tap. I'm gonna put Double Tap at never buy, and this is Double Tap 1. For example, on like Call of the Dead, I never open the back of the ship where Double Tap is, just because it's one of those perks that you don't need, and plus I guess you could get all the perks for free from George anyways. But let's be real here. Double Tap 1, you just shoot twice as fast, you run out of ammo twice as fast, and it's just not as good as Double Tap 2. So that's why it's going in one of those never buy. Next up is Quick Revive. I'm also going to put Quick Revive in amazing. Now the the reason it's an amazing and not best of the best is because in World at War you literally couldn't get revived in solo. It was only for reviving teammates. You don't need to buy Quick Revive every single game if you're playing co-op, because I feel like if you're playing with good enough players, you don't really need to revive because they won't go down. So I would say it's good, and it's nice for reviving yourself and stuff. It's good in solo on like BO1 and BO2, BO3, but I wouldn't say it's 100% needed. So I'm going to put it in amazing. Next up is PhD Flopper on Ascension. We're putting PhD in best of the best. I know it's going to be controversial that I think PhD is better than Speed Cola and Quick Revive, but hear me out, all right? PhD Flopper with Mustang and Sally's in BO1 was just a massive vibe. It was one of my favorite things, and PhD is still my favorite perk ever in Call of Duty Zombies. It is just so fun diving off different areas, especially on Ascension and like Call of the Dead, and then also getting it as a perma perk on Buried. It was really good, even having it on Origins and stuff. So I think it is a best of the best perk, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to disagree. Next up is Stamin Up. Stamin Up is going in the amazing category. Stamin Up is really good because you can get from point A to point B 50% faster, which is really nice. And just being able to run around faster and everything like that. It's great for training and things like that. So I'm going to put it in amazing. Next up is Deadshot Daiquiri, and I'm going to put it in never buy. It's worse than Double Tap 1. I just never buy Deadshot. It was introduced on top of the lighthouse on Call of the Dead, and although it's cheap, it's just one of those things you don't really need to buy, and it's not worth using a perk slot for at all anyways. So we're gonna put it in never buy. Next up is Mule Kick. I'm gonna put Mule Kick in good. Now I think this is like one of those perks that should be added into Cold War, because it'd be nice to have 3 weapons, but I really don't think like you 100% need 3 weapons. Like 2 is more than enough. You get a wonder weapon, and then you get a gun, another gun. You don't really need 3 weapons in my opinion, unless you're doing high rounds, which of course most high rounders get like Mustang and Sally's, thunder gun, ray gun, something like that. So I would say it's decent, it's good. Next up is Double Tap 2. Gonna put Double Tap 2 in best of the best. I think Double Tap 2 is by far one of the best perks in Zombies. You'll deal twice as much damage per shot. So it's basically like you're shooting 2 bullets, and it's just really effective and really fun to use anyways. I try to buy it as much as I can in like BO2 and BO3, So I would definitely say it deserves to be in best of the best. Next up is Tombstone. I'm gonna put Tombstone in not very good. The only reason Tombstone is actually decent is on town, because you can get 6 perks, but on transit it's like completely useless. Like, you don't need Tombstone, and it's not worth a perk slot either. So I'm gonna say not very good for Tombstone. Next up is Who's Who. This is going to be very controversial and you guys are going to disagree, but I'm going to put it in amazing. I think Who's Who is actually a really good perk. It was just implemented on a bad map for the perk, which is obviously Die Rise. Now, if Who's Who was on a different map like Mob of the Dead or Buried or something like that, it would actually be really good, because basically you stick to yourself, you know, like you respawn if you go down, and then you can revive yourself. So you have to actually be good enough to revive yourself with just the 1911. You can get more perks as well, which is nice. And I just think Who's Who's like a really cool idea for a perk, and they even brought it into the Tombstone version, which will be ranking in Cold War perks after this. But I would say that Who's Who is actually amazing, and I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree, and that's totally fine. Next up is Electric Cherry. I'm going to put it in good. Now, on Mob of the Dead, I buy it every time because you have the Blundergat, which shoots 1 to 3 shots, and then you reload. And every time you reload, Electric Cherry is at like maximum effectiveness. So when you only have 1 shot with the Blundergat and reload every time, you're just putting off huge amounts of Electric Cherry, making it very good. But it's one of those perks that I don't ever buy other than on Mob of the Dead. And it's only if I'm playing casually, which I don't usually do on Mob anyways. So I would put it at good. Next up is Vulturaid. I think Vulturaid is actually amazing. Getting points, getting ammo, having the green gas around you, I think it's a really effective perk. It's always broken in custom maps whenever I play BO3 customs, but I think Vulturaid was just a really good idea, and I think a lot of people want it back. It was kind of incorporated into Bloodwolf Bite in Black Ops 4. We'll talk about that after, but I would say it's okay. And then last but not least, we're gonna put Widow's Wine in amazing ahead of Vulturaid and Who's Who. Now I would say that Widow's Wine is like OP as hell. It's really good. And if you guys didn't know, and I just found this out while making this list, that on the spider it has lips on the back of the spider, which I never realized. If I'm just stupid, oh well, I guess I never really looked. But anyways guys, this is going to be my list for classic perks. Now it's time to hop on over to Black Ops 4, so I'll meet you guys there. Alrighty guys, we have all of the Black Ops 4 perks, and we have the same criteria as well. So we're going to start off with Bandolier Bandit. I'm going to put Bandolier Bandit in amazing. I like having extra ammo, especially for like the Hellion and stuff like that, so it's pretty good. Next up is Blaze Phase, and we are putting that thing in Never Buy. Blaze Phase is the most useless perk in Call of Duty Zombies history, and I am not ever going to buy it. Next up is Bloodwolf Bite. I would say Bloodwolf Bite is not very good, but it's only good on Ancient Evil because if you get it in your modifier slot, you get extra ammo. It's like miniature ammo. And if you have the hand on Ancient Evil and you pick up one of those, it refills your hand completely. So if you have the Exalted Hand, you can just get 40 shots over and over, never run out. So it's good for high rounds. Next up is going to be Deadshot Dealer. I would say Deadshot Dealer is amazing. After 5 shots of hitting a headshot, you get increased damage, which is really useful and definitely amazing. Next up is this one. What is it called? I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it in not very Never Buy. Death Perception. I don't think Death Perception is really worth it. It's only good if you have it in the modifier slot for dealing extra damage to mini bosses and like gladiators, brawlers, stuff like that, but I don't really think it's needed. Next up we have Dying Wish. Dying Wish is definitely one of the best perks in Black Ops 4 for sure. Everyone buys it. It's a complete crutch perk. They were trying to get rid of crutch perks in Black Ops 4, but I mean everyone bought Dying Wish. So next up guys, we have Electric Cherry or Electric Bolt. I don't remember what it's exactly called in Cold War, or BO4 rather. I would say it was good. It was used for the strategy with like a ballistic knife camping on Alpha Omega. So for that reason, I'm putting it in good. I don't think it was as good as some other ones, but it's decent. Next up, we have this perk, Ethereal Razor, and we're gonna put Ethereal Razor in amazing. I think Ethereal Razor is great for all those people that like knifing. It was really good paired with like the fork knife or spork knife rather on blood, and it was just really good to use with like a bowie knife, and knifing into really high rounds was actually pretty fun in Black Ops 4, so we're gonna put it at amazing. Next up, guys, we have a Mule Kick, which was really nice because when you went down you get your third gun back, so we're gonna put Mule Kick in amazing just because of that. I think it was a pretty good perk. Although I didn't really use it a lot, Mule Kick has always been kind of a staple in zombies, so it was definitely better in Black Ops 4 than previous games. Next up is PhD Slider. I think PhD Slider is best of the best, although the slide, no, we're putting it in amazing. I would say that it's good, that you have no explosive damage. When this game came out, like Black Ops 4 came out, PhD Slider didn't 100% like protect you from explosive damage, which was so dumb. And then they reverted it because everyone got mad about it. So overall, I would say that it's amazing. Definitely not the best. Next up, we have Quick Revive. You got faster health regen, which is amazing, I would say. Definitely wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad either. Next up, I don't know why this one's on it. I would say that this one is actually good because you could get a random perk for 1500 points, the Wonder Fizz. Next up, we have Stamin Up. Stamin Up is definitely going in best of the best. Stamin Up was so good in Black Ops 4 in the modifier slot. You could run forever, kind of like in Cold War, and I really like that, and I think it's great. Next up is Stone Cold Stronghold. I would say that Stone Cold Stronghold is amazing. There's a lot of amazing perks in Black Ops 4, and I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree. I think Stone Cold is probably one of the best perks in amazing as well. So we're going to put it like right here. Not bad at all, like extra damage when you're inside the circle, and armor as well. I think it's really good. Next up, guys, we have Time Slip. Time Slip is going straight into best of the best. Time Slip was such a good perk because you could pack a punch faster, hit the box faster, really good for speed runs, and it just speeds up stuff if you're trying to get a specific weapon from the box, and also if you have a fire sale or something. So it's definitely worth getting, and I really like using it, so it deserves to be in best of the best. Next up is Victorious Tortoise, another one, best of the best. This was an OP perk in Black Ops 4 for sure. Everyone loved using it with the shield, which you buy or build on every single map because it's basically required for most of the Easter eggs. And overall, I would say that Victorious Tortoise was just really good, especially if you're doing harder difficulty runs like hardcore or realistic. You basically need this perk to do well. Next up is Winter's Wail. Winter's Wail is the best perk in Black Ops 4, 100%. When the game launched, it was absolutely terrible, and then they made it way better, and it has 4 charges. Every 60 seconds you get another charge. If you got hit by a zombie and it's in your modifier slot, you could literally like run away and just freeze all the zombies around you, which is really nice, and I think it's really good. And last but not least, we have Zombshell, which I'm gonna put in not very good. So that is my ranking for all of the BO4 perks, and once again, that will be linked down below if you guys want to do it yourself. Now it's time for Cold War. All right, guys, so this one should be super quick. Obviously Cold War only has 7 perks right now, so let's do this quickly. Stamin Up, best of the best, very good perk. Buy it every single game. You can buy all the perks every game, but I don't always do that. Next up, we'll do Quick Revive. Quick Revive is amazing because you get faster regen health, but it's not 100% necessary. Next up is Speed Cola. Speed Cola is really good in the game, and you kind of need it with some of the weapons like the shotguns, for example, especially like the Gallo and the Street Sweeper and the Howler, I guess. So we're gonna put Speed Cola in a best of the best for Cold War. I think you pretty much need it. Same thing with Jug. Having that health, like 1 health if you get hit 5 times, is really nice, because you can usually get out of it unless you have like a Megaton shooting you or you get hit by something. So I think Juggernog is definitely one of the best in the game. Next up we have Deadshot Daiquiri. It got a huge glow up in Cold War, and it's also best of the best. Definitely really good. Next up we have Elemental Pop, which I am gonna say is not very good. Now the reason for this is because if you have Elemental Pop and you have 1 zombie left or something like that, or maybe 2, and then you accidentally get turned on it, you're screwed. The round's gonna end and ruins your game. So I don't think it's very good. And last but not least, we have Tombstone, which definitely changed a lot in this game, but I am going to put it in never buy. I never buy Tombstone in Cold War. I think it's a useless perk. If you don't end up reviving yourself, you die. Tombstone is a complete waste of money, and I never get it. So anyways guys, that is going to be every single Call of Duty Zombies perk in Treyarch Zombies ranked. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, they're all linked down below. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.